country and the great community we live in. We thank you for everything that you have given to us in this life. We pray this afternoon that as this meeting is conducted, that everything that is done here will bring wisdom and provisions to this area that will be beneficial to everybody. We pray your blessing will be upon it and just give us wisdom and knowledge as we meet here this afternoon. Again, thank you for allowing us to do that and to be here. We give you the praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
The reason I call this meeting was I've talked to several of you. There seems to be a lack of communication or a lack of knowledge from many of y'all that's kind of affected that don't seem to be getting answers to the questions and concerns you have. So in an effort to try to alleviate that, we're fortunate enough that Senate representatives hopefully we can get some answers. And also we want to get the information if there's concerns that's out there. I know some of them. We want to make sure that we're not overlooking any of them so we can make sure that each get addressed. As you come in, you have the ability to sign in. If you wish to speak, there is a place to know that you wish to do so. When we get to that portion, what I think we decide travel will do, we'll go down the list in the order that you call. We'll try to allow 4 minutes, and I think the actions here, we'll try to get somebody to flag you in order to move along and let everybody have a chance to speak. And I'm sure there'll be some different cases of concern. We'll wait till the end at that point for the rebuttal, see where that's at. I would ask all of you, I know we can be very passionate as this affects your homes, your families. I'm not giving anybody at the end of here. We're here to try to get answers and to assist everybody. So let's try to be diplomatic and conscious of how we ask. If anybody gets out of line, we will ask you to leave or if you see that. But we want everybody a chance to speak their mind. I'm here as representative of you all, present what we can do, help you get the help and resources you need. That's what I'm here for. And I want to hear what you have to say. At this time, we'll go ahead and start down again. Everybody can introduce themselves, who they represent, and we'll go from there.
James McLeod, I'm with the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection and Environmental Responsibility.
I'm Keith Hall, I have support manager for the district.
Jimmy Call, I'm David Representative.
I'm David Hale. I'm the Kentucky State Representative for the 74th Legislative District, which Cow County is part of that district.
James Anderson, Cobb County Judge's Advocate.
Stephanie Kendrigan, Director of Public Affairs for Kinder Morgan.
I'm Dean Huntley. I'm the operations manager of the Capital Square area, and I work out of the Clay City facility and live in Manchester.
John Pound, the Operations Director for what we call our Division 9 in Greenwood, Tennessee. Frank Porter, Environmental Specialist for Kinder Morgan.
I'm Brent Jefferson. I'm with Cow County 911 Dispatch. I'm just taking minutes of the meeting so we can record everybody. That's exactly.
With the acoustics, when we do get to speaking portion, if you don't care, I'm not going to feel like speaking about it either, but if you could come toward the front of the room, on the aisle, where we can have a deal here, what you're speaking to, and we can portion, be something else. And if you can't hear us, we'll try to speak up, so if you're having trouble, just talk your hand with project what we're doing. At this time, I think it's time to get understand what transpired and the operation. Everybody can all want to do, we all want to do that operation, what happened today at the end, and we'll kind of move on to the question and answer section from there. That's good.
So again, my name is Stephanie Kendrigan, and I'm the Director of Public Affairs for Kinder Morgan. First of all, I want to thank the judge for having us here tonight. I think the two of us both share the goal that when we leave this facility tonight, that we want every single one of you to have the facts. And that we also want to make sure that you leave knowing who to call if you have any issues moving forward. Believe me when I say we recognize that this has been a headache for a lot of you, and that you have concerns for the health and safety of your family. And our goal is to make that right. We've been in this community now since the 40s, and we like to think of ourselves as a good neighbor. We hope that you would follow us as a good neighbor up until now. We hope to be operating here for another 70 years and to continue to be a good neighbor. And in order to do that, we have to make sure that all of your needs have been met and that we address every single one of them. So I hope tonight that you find that we're transparent, and that you see the concern that we have with what happened on Monday, and that we are going to work to make it right. We've assembled kind of a group that we think can best answer any of the outstanding questions you may have. And then I will also add that we will make ourselves available following this meeting to answer any, personal concerns that you have with your specific property or with your home, in the event you don't want to share, where you're living or anything like that in a public forum. We obviously respect your privacy. So know that you can come to us following this meeting. We'll be available for you as well. And with that, I will turn it over to to John, to talk a little bit more about the incident itself and then what our response to date has actually been.
Okay, thank you. And also, thank you, David, for putting this together. I appreciate that. I guess, just to start with, I'm John Pamela again. I'm the operations director for Division 9. That's a division comprised of 9 states. We have 31 facilities that we manage out of that office, and this being one of them here in Clay City. So I would first just like to say that, we work very hard. We work very hard all across our facilities to make sure things like this don't happen. I know that doesn't help today, but we absolutely do work hard at it. And, what we hope to do as a result of this meeting is that you all feel better about the situation, that understand what you expect from Kinder Morgan and our people here representing our company. And I just, the last other thing is, before I get started on the incident is, hope you understand we are committed. We're committed to doing what's right, to treating people fairly, and to getting you back to your lives as quickly as we can, your normal lives as quickly as we can. So, with that, I'll go into the incident briefly here. I think most people here know what happened, but at 2:30 on Monday, we had a severe lightning storm come through the area. We had, whether it was a direct hit or a major strike right there in the middle of our facility, we had several pieces of equipment damaged. We had a pump that was burned up. We had the wires we melted on it. We had several transducers, which are gauges that we use out in the facility. And the big issue was we had one of our computers that operate our building protection system on one of our buildings was damaged. When that happens, we're going to see we don't have protection for our facility, so we have an emergency shutdown. And that's when gas is vented into the air, and it's what happened in this case. It's designed to do that, it's supposed to do that, and that's what it did. We did immediately report the incident to the National Response Center. We reported to because of the oil on Highway 15, the Kentucky DEP. And during the venting, there was a release of this fine mist of oil in the gas. That's not what usually happens. That's not normal. I've never known this to happen. In my 20 years of managing these 32 facilities, we've never had this happen that I'm aware of, and I will be aware of it, as you can imagine. And I think at this facility here, it hasn't happened all year. So it's not normal, but it did happen. So the mist, in our view, what we believe the mist is a mixture of natural gas condensate, compressor lube oil, and probably a little bit of water mixed in. So it's a combination of those items. It is something that we normally and on a daily and weekly basis deal with within our facilities. We have areas where it's captured, gathered, and we actually dispose of it properly and reuse it in some cases with other industries reusing it. So it's not something that we're not familiar with, but it is something that we're not used to having come out of with our gas to the point where it comes off and impacts people around our facilities. We immediately noticed the coating on the highway, on Highway 15. That's really what we noticed at the time when it first happened. And we got county officials came out, really did a great job of supporting us. And I want to thank the Powell County and Kentucky State Road Departments. I mean, they were Johnny on the spot. We were able to deal with the immediate things in our facility. Those guys were out taking care of the traffic and getting the road restored. And I want to thank you for that. I don't think any of us realize how fortunate we are to have those types of groups in the community supporting us, and thank you again. So that's kind of the general overview of what happened. We had the ESD, our facility been like it should. We did have a mess that we weren't, that we normally don't have, and that's kind of summarizing that. And I guess, Dean, if you would take it from, after the immediate incident, kind of what are the steps we took next and what we're up to right now.
Yeah, again, my name is Dean Huntley. I'm the operations manager at the Gettysburg operating area for Tennessee Gas. I do office out of the Clay City facility, and me and my family, we live in Winchester, Kentucky. And I've been at that facility about 10 years, working out of that office. So from the initial incident, as John said, the initial obvious issue was the road. As the afternoon went on, we became aware of the impacts of oil and mist to our neighbors. That afternoon, Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection was on site. The emergency response team was on site. They were looking at the road and the highway and looking around the front end of our facility at the oil and mist and coated with the light mist on the road. As we became aware of more impacts surrounding outside our property, later that evening we actually went door to door with the Kentucky DEP person. We tried to reach, at least make contact with many folks as we could, right across the road from the plant. And we did that until it got too dark to continue on the first night. That night we dispatched the Tennessee Gas right-of-way team. We've been mobilized to the Clay City facility that night. We also asked our environmental support folks to come up to our facility, and they drove up to the facility that evening. The next morning, on Tuesday, the property rights team, environmental folks, local operations, our Kentucky DEP emergency response team personnel, we were all on site at the facility, and we met and we were developing plans, trying to discuss incident response and look at the characterization and start to talk about cleanup of the oil and mist. Also, that morning, Tennessee Gas, we dispatched 2 environmental contractors, 2 environmental cleanup contractors. These are professional type environmental contractors. We dispatched 2 of them to our facility to have them there with the right equipment and to assist us as we continue with our response. Kentucky DEP was on site with us all day on Tuesday and have been throughout. Also that day, our right-of-way team began contacting landowners in the community, kind of started fanning out from the station to try to reach the impacted folks, at least touch base with them and see if we could talk about some of the immediate concerns. Also that day, we began taking environmental samples from selected properties around the impact area with our environmental contractors. So we took these samples and to help with the characterization of the oil and mist. The first results from those test samples will not be back until Thursday afternoon. And the cleanup activities, really we want to get that data from these samples and factor that into our cleanup approach, our final cleanup approach. And we'll work with the Kentucky DEP to do that. Also, Tennessee Gas, our right-of-way team, during this time, we're trying to address some needs of the local neighbors. We did offer to accommodate those who are not comfortable staying in their residence. This was certainly not a mandatory request. It was something we did. If the landowner was more comfortable leaving, we would accommodate that request, and we made that offer, and several folks have accepted that. That's kind of where we are. The next steps in our response. we want to obtain our test sample results. Thursday afternoon is when the first battery of those tests come back. We're going to refine and implement our cleanup plan under the supervision of the Kentucky DEP. In the meantime, we want to continue to address the needs of the community. Our right-of-way agents will be out in the field. You'll see us around in our Kinder Morgan vehicles, and we'll be working to work through the issues. We did establish a 1-800 hotline number, and this is for anyone who's got a question or concern about this incident, they can call in this number. And I guess the number, I'll have this number with me if you need to get it.
Let's read it now.
I'll read it now. It's 877-936-2253.
And all of y'all hear that? I can
No.
say it. You can't? Does?
You need to speak up. You need to speak up.
All right, let me try it. 877-936-2253. 877-936-2253. So go ahead.
Yeah, so that number is going to be open from 7:30 to 5. After 5 o'clock, you can leave a voice message, and we're committed to returning that call within the next business day. But I hope you do take advantage of us running around in the community. It's not just an 800 number. We're going to be out there in the community, so flag us down. You can come by the local office. But we'll be out and around, so I hope you can find us. If you need to call the 800 number, then that is available to you. And finally, my last bullet was we want to make this right, and that's what we're going to be working hard to do.
Mr. Hill, our attendant, got a video and one of our emergency calls. Before we get started, y'all have anything you want to add, you're welcome to do that. You have to leave.
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to add to the people here today, I never heard about this incident until later that night after it actually happened. And a little bit later on Monday night, and then I called Judge Anderson here early Tuesday morning, and he kind of informed me or brought me up to speed on what was being done and what you folks are doing. But I do want to thank you all for what you are doing. Appreciate it very much. And certainly I have, I'm in the dark, I guess, as much as anybody in this room as to what transpired and what was supposed to have transpired. I think that's the questions that we have as to why possibly things didn't work as they did. But again, thank you all for your efforts, and I do appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Keith, I'll be back to your area. This is all short of everyone, I'm sure. Everybody wants answers right now. I was just giving answers today. Be very patient. I work with natural gas companies as well, so kind of more of a different entity. But I promise you to let you try the best possible. Be patient. Any questions, call the numbers you have. I'll give you my number. Ask you questions you want to let it lead. I can wait till you know at me. My number is 606-481-4940. Be very patient. I'm sure they'll make it right.
Hi, what about this old one on the ground?
We got a sign on, we got a sign in, we're gonna go down that list, and that's, we've not got any of that yet, so that's what we're. Okay, we'll go on and speak and Corey, can you grab it? Is everybody that wishes to say something, speak, sign again? Yes, that's what we'll honor. Did you want to say anything before we start doing that? Like I said before, we'll try to give everybody, is Daxton, where you at? Right. 4 minutes, if you kind of, actually ask you to honor that, and I'm not trying to shut you off, so we want everybody to have an opportunity to say what they want. We will also, Brittany, we're trying to document any of y'all's concerns as well. So before you leave, if you have it, we've got a sheet back here that you can list your complaints, contacts. We want to make sure that each of your concerns, we can check, yes, it's addressed. Once we get this sheet, we'll go down. Like I said, I know you can become passionate, but let's try to be professional here and get our questions answered. I think that's what we want to accomplish. Before we get started, I will open it up as a question. I do have a level of concern at this point, just before we get started, I'm sure. I won't speak long, because I'm sure most of what I would have to ask will be asking citizens. But we do have an issue when we've not fully identified what this substance is. We've got individuals that stay in there, so I think regardless of either test, we need to expedite that this substance is X, and it does have this danger, it does not have that. And these folks have been sitting there since Monday in with this residue, and I mean, we need to make an overnight, immediate determination. Is this something that they're okay to be around or not? You know, some of the other stuff, it's not quite as time sensitive, but we've got to have an immediate answer on that. With that, we'll go down the list, and as best I can, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize, and we're going to go down. If you check yes to speak, and that's how we're going to do this. And it appears that the first person is Mr. Richard Bishop.
I've lived down there almost my entire life. I've watched the gas plant many times let off pressure. I've seen the buildings catch on fire down there. I mean, it's right in my front door. And this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this. And, you know, we're so scared that it could cause cancer later down the road, you know, if it could do something to us now. We got vegetables, we got fruit, there's kids playing, you name it, out in this oil and stuff. And we just need some answers on that.
The one thing, we're going to try, like I said, that's probably a lot of education in order of trying to let everybody speak. We'll wait till after. We want to make sure that every point's addressed. And then Brent, you kind of check at the end if we don't rebuttal one of the questions going to ask. We want to make sure we catch them.
Sure.
We want to give everybody a chance to speak. Bradley Finnegan.
First off, I would like to know why it took so long for anybody to come around and notify us of anything. I mean, nobody come by except him, and I think he come by like 9 or 9:30. He's the first person we saw. We did call a few people, and I think he even told somebody to notify the EPA, and they told him no, that they'd notify him tomorrow. So I want to know why it worked out, why they were saying they were going to call him tomorrow. He should have been called immediately, in my mind. Second, for you, Judge, since we don't know what the substance is, nobody knows, why wasn't they a mandatory evacuation? Why wasn't that? We're sitting here in this, and you all are not the ones down there. We live down there. We have to deal with this. We have to worry about it. And I'm very worried about it. It's all over everything we own. And that's my question. I'm just worried.
You might, we got an answer on what that stuff is, what it's going to do, it's all over everything.
We'll get to that, John. Ms. Morgan.
First of all, I listened to what you said. When I lived directly across the community, okay? As soon as he quit, me and her got my car, which I had to hang my head out the window. We went straight over to the gate. There was a truck car with the person in it. Yeah, and I told him, I said, this stuff is all over, everything we got over here. And he was a little bit rude. He said, well, it's all over my vehicle too. I said, well, I can't help it. It's all over my grandkids' toys, my house, everything, my vehicles, my garden. He said, well, I'll tell somebody over there and we'll send them right on over there. Yep, that guy comes out about 9 o'clock and we can see nobody else till 9:30
And thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, I know you can come to that night. But it was told immediately because by the time I did it, 20 to 30 minutes that he put off. because it scared us, the ground rumbled. And then all at once, I've been gone 33 years. The first time I've ever seen anything, I've seen it blow up, burn, stuff come out, everything is this. And when we went over there, as soon as it quit, that's what they got done. So y'all was notified as soon as the pressure thing had shut down, which that's like 20 to 30 minutes from the time it started.
Crystal Rising.
I guess mine's pretty low for repetitive. I have 3 kids and I live directly next door. So I had a pretty good impact. My pool has to be drained and everything else. My biggest question is, do I need to go ahead and just get rid of toys, or what do I do? Because if I just let them sit there and let my kids play on them later, even after they're clean, if it's going to hurt them, if this is going to affect them long term, is my main concern. I mean, toys and everything can be replaced. Health issues with my children is completely different. So for us to not know and them not come over and like, well, till we figure it out, you guys need to leave. They're just like, if you want to leave, then you can. So since we didn't know what it was, I really felt like we should have honestly been urged to leave. And I understand that you guys are in the dark just as well as we are on everything. But I just felt like since nobody knew, it should have been taken a little bit more seriously.
Richard Bishop.
My name is Richard Bishop. I want to know y'all's protocol and stuff like this. I'm asking for Andrew, your protocol for oil spills. Your protocol. We got a
Richard, I mean, we want that answer, we want everybody, like I said, so if that's one of the things you want to ask us, we will make sure that we try to get around to that. Just try to move forward.
That's the moment we can get that paper to show that.
You got it, MAD, this.
Well, we did.
Everything is on.
I did ask them.
You know, we've asked 2 or 3 times.
And we ain't seen nothing.
Nobody said, well, you got these people sitting down there to win Thursday. You can get it out. How much do they want to consume in the lungs?
Yeah.
You know, this OSHA guy from down there told me not to be out in the grass, not to eat the produce, but he figure out what's here. I got a phone call, I got a direct hit straight across now, straight across, I got a direct hit. You know, I walked out on Highway 15, you couldn't stand up. Oil running down the creek. Guess where that oil went? Right into Loversgrove, right into the Kentucky River. You'll be drinking it tomorrow. Yeah. Y'all's protocol should have some kind of spill mats. I worked over at Tennessee Gas. I've been to some of y'all's training. None of that was done.
We couldn't even stand up in our yards. Some of these news people.
Would you come down there today and swim in these people's swimming pools, walk through the yard in vegetables right now?
Bring your kids.
Would you do that? Right now, walk down there and walk through the yard and don't know what's there.
God.
We need an answer. We don't need y'all sit here and lie to this man here. You had contractors over at work. All we know is you said lightning hit. Right? Did lightning hit? Did you take James back there and show it to him? Or is this hearsay? He don't know. He's in the blind same as we are. James, all he's doing is what you representatives tells him. He don't know. These masters don't know. All they know is what you told them. He's in the blind. Don't you think you need to fill James in what's going on so he can tell these people?
It comes through our conditions. We smell all the
You protocol. When I worked over, I worked out on the pipeline. We had a spill. You got mats to lay down. Y'all look like paper towels out there in the front. That's all y'all done.
And then you're still in the ditch.
3 minutes. Then here at the county meeting. Can I speak? Is it all right? Okay. Then here's the county. James didn't know what he was dealing with. He done his best.
Yeah.
Y'all know y'all deal with this every day, don't you? don't it, right? How many years have you dealt with it? Your protocol should stop one drop of water, you know, one drop of oil, what did it kill in our environment? How much is the federal government's going to have to treat this water to get y'all's chemicals out?
Don't worry about y'all's land over there, so what the people with them kids, instead of getting on that. I'm sorry. It's just,
Like I said, he's your representative. James needs to know what's going on. These people's come over to my property, asking me. I don't know. You know, and all we got to rely on is call James or Master. Y'all don't tell him nothing. You lock him out at the front gate. Time.
This, Kelsey Dudley.
I live between these two. I'm just concerned because I'm pregnant. It has been extremely hard, I'm 25 years old, for me to consume child. I'm concerned because I don't know the long-term effects, and I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend like I'm not paying, because I don't know what's in the chemicals. I'm sorry that I'm nervous and it's hard for me to speak in front of everybody. It is all over my land as well. I don't know what it's got into. I don't know if it's airborne. When I cut my grass, where is all the chemicals going? It's going to go in the air. What I'm concerned is, I just think I should move for my safety. I think I should move because I really don't know what it is. And my biggest concern was I asked 5 times that day. I called. Is it safe to be in my home? Is it safe? I was told it was safe 5 times. The next day they said, when I watched the news, they were saying it could be unsafe. There could be other toxins in the air. That highly upsets me because if there was any doubt in anybody's mind that it was unsafe, why did they let us sit down there? The damage, my doctor told me that the damage is already done. If I've been exposed to it, there's nothing I can do now. So my concern is it's already happened. And it happened because I was told it was safe. I don't know what the chemicals are. I tried to look online as best I could because I tried to find my own answers. And everybody else was sitting down there and nobody else knew it was unsafe because they was told it was safe too. It's not my responsibility to knock on door to door and pull out people because I feel like it's unsafe for even them to be in there. I was concerned about Mr. Hampton. I know I've lived down there since I was a child. I made sure that it was contacted. Some people was contacted and wasn't even told that it could be toxic. Some of us was told, the 3 of us was told, and that was it. When I found out that my neighbors wasn't told that they had the option to go to a hotel for their safety and that it could be unsafe, that's what they was told. That it could be, it was safe and that they would, so they just didn't worry about it. Because my other friend who lives right down the road is also pregnant. And she's 37 weeks pregnant. And so she wasn't even told. Her dog, her animals was exposed to it. She let her dogs inside because they told her that it was safe. They told her that it was safe. So all that's inside of her house. All those chemicals are also, she's exposed to it as well. My concern is why was it my responsibility to call my neighbors and to tell them that there could be toxins in the air and that no one knew except for us 3? It seemed like we was the only one asking a question, but we should have had to. Somebody should have been notified.